Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy OG Black. Smash, like, subscribe. I hope you guys get the notifications. I usually put these type of videos on my Patreon, but I'm gonna give you guys some fire information right here. Something that I was involved in personally. A lot of guys that are from Orange County, LA County, San Diego County, or anybody in the Mexican Mafia knows about this. This snitch scandal goes into 18th Street. It goes into infamous gangs that I'm not going to get into for security reasons. But this is your boy OG Black. Smash, like, subscribe. I told you I did time with Scott Dekraai. And there's more to Scott Dekraai than meets the eye. And to tell you guys the truth, this is about the Orange County Mexican Mafia snitch scandal. And how one member of 18th Street named Fernando, and I won't give you his last name, but they'll say it in this video right here. He ended up, befriending a lot of people, befriending a lot of homeboys, a lot of Aryan Brotherhood members, and catching them life sentences. Thank God your boy OG Black wasn't one of them, and I was quick to the game. This is your boy OG Black. Smash, like, subscribe, and I hope you guys like this. Enjoy this. It's about Scott Dekraai, and I made a video earlier about him, and this is a part 2 and Orange County Register edition. Thank you very much.
911, do you need police or paramedics? There's a shooting next door.
Hey, we got some shootings over here in Seal Beach.
Okay, where?
There's a shooting at Salon Mirror Talk.
Police department, do you have an emergency?
A hairstylist came in and said that somebody's shooting with a gun. He's still shooting right now. He's still shooting right now. Salon Mirror Talk. A gunman came in and killed a bunch of people. They're all blind, dying on the floor.
Okay, do we have police and paramedics on the way?
We need somebody here, like, right now.
There's a white man in a white truck.
We were just hoping he wasn't going to kill me.
We're on our way.
It was October 12th, 2011. In the aftermath of the mass shooting carried out by a vengeful Scott Evan Dekraai that claimed 8 lives, Orange County District Attorney Tony Rakakis led the charge for justice.
The circumstances of this case are so terrible and incomprehensible. I will, of course, seek the death penalty
That guy's so
against
full of
Scott
shit.
Evan Dekraai for the intentional,
He's
methodical
just
murders
as much as a criminal
of
as
Victoria
anybody
Buzo,
else out there, man. Tony
David
Rakakis is a piece
Cowett,
of shit.
Laura Allady, Randy Fannin, Michelle Fast, Michelle Fortier, Lucia Condas, and Christy Wilson. We'll make sure that each victim will be remembered, and we'll make sure that we seek justice for each individual person.
They make her stand out like a saint. She wasn't a saint, guys. Trust
A
me.
day later, outside the view of the newspaper and television cameras, sheriff's deputies quietly moved Dekraai to a new location within the Orange County jail system.
L20 Special Handling Unit. We're all Mexican Mafia members, Aryan Brotherhood members,
Cell
Black
number
Guerrilla
3
family
of Sector
members. Go.
17 in Module L. Cells, just like the one housed in the Santa Ana Jail's processing hub. The cell right next to Dekraai could easily be wired for the secret system.
That's what they did,
Observers
guys.
call that network
We
the
used to
snitch
talk
tank,
through the toilets.
a place where investigators hope to glean incriminating statements from Dekraai, a prisoner with no prior criminal record and certainly no experience in a jailhouse.
Yeah, he's a thug. Scott's a real gangster. He ain't never been to jail. And he was chopping
But
it
in the
up with...
4 years since that horrible day, the Orange County Register has chronicled how the District Attorney's Office and local police agencies have been exposed for operating an unconstitutional network of jailhouse informants.
My boy Frankie knows about
It's a
this.
revelation that led a judge to bar the DA's office from prosecuting Orange County's worst mass murder case.
Yep.
And now, the use of jailhouse snitches is not only delaying justice in the Seal Beach shooting case, it's literally led to other cases being overturned or reopened.
Yep.
It's resulting in the sort of national attention most don't want. Powerful voices from across the country are calling for a federal investigation of Orange
That's
County's
Scott
justice
Sanders,
system.
the lawyer.
The situation in
And
Orange
Scott
County
Dekraai's right next to
is
him.
actually amazing. It's kind of historic. For decades, the Orange County Sheriff's Department and the Orange County District Attorney's Office used jailhouse informants in unconstitutional ways. to get convictions.
Wes
We know
Watson was
this
part of
happens
this
all the time,
special
but we
handling
rarely
unit.
get the kind of
That's why he hates Orange
detailed,
County Jail. He was a
occasionally shocking
prosecutor
glimpses
there.
into just how far law enforcement is willing to go to get convictions.
Yep.
Win the case at all cost. Even if that justice came by ignoring the very laws the office was sworn to enforce, and even turning to members of the feared Mexican Mafia for help. No one knows just how deep or extensive
That
the
scar
problem
from
really
Delhi.
is.
Like any risky public
It was
policy,
horrible. Try to
we
get me.
need to be very careful in the
Fuck that
way
vato.
that we authorize the government to reward criminal offenders and criminal suspects with leniency in exchange for information. It doesn't mean we should never do it, but it means we should recognize the risks and regulate accordingly.
For the last year, registered reporters Tony Saavedra and David Farrell have been focused on the use of jailhouse informants by the Orange County justice system. And Saavedra has been a part of the Register's investigations
That's a cool
team
guy
for
right
more
there.
than 15 years.
Try to talk to me, but I
The
won't talk to
DA
him.
and police have been using a network of snitches for the last 20, 30 years without giving any information to the defense attorneys. And they've been doing this in order to secure confessions that'll help them to get convictions.
The case against shooter Scott Dekraai seemed open and shut. Caught a few blocks from the scene with 3 guns, the 41-year-old former tugboat crewman told police,
You would think.
"I know what I did." In court, he pled guilty. The botched use of jailhouse informants and withholding of evidence has caused delays, leaving the victims' families waiting for justice for more than 4 years.
Well, I talked with district attorney officials afterwards, and I asked them why, when you had such a slam dunk of a case, would you try to use a snitch, and would you use a microphone inside Dekrai's cell? And they said there's no such thing as a slam dunk, and they pointed to Edward Alloway.
For prosecutors, the Dekraai case was an eerie reminder of what had been previously the most violent day in Orange County history. On the morning of July 12, 1976, Edward Charles Alloway brought a rifle into the library at Cal State Fullerton and opened fire, killing 7 people. At his trial, Alloway said he remembered nothing of the shooting. He testified that a group of homosexual men were plotting to kill him, and that his wife was in a pornographic film being shown in the basement. The Orange County District Attorney's Office pushed for a death sentence, but a judge found that Alloway was psychotic at the time of the shootings and declared him not guilty by reason of insanity. Alloway has been institutionalized in the state mental system since 1977. The terms of his commitment allow that he has a hearing every year. One of the attorneys fighting to keep Alloway behind bars is Orange County Deputy District Attorney Dan Wagner, the same man who was appointed lead prosecutor of Scott Dekraai, and the same man who is determined to gather enough evidence to battle a possible insanity defense.
Well, if you're gonna cheat on the slam dunk cases, what are you gonna do on the hard cases? And that's this all at the heart of this whole issue is the right to a fair trial, and the need for police and prosecutors to play fair.
Just up the street from the Orange County District Attorney's Office is the county's Office of the Public Defender. It was here that Scott Sanders unraveled the history of the mystery informant in the cell next to Dekraai. It was Sanders who launched a 2-year investigation into the covert system of jailhouse informants used by police and prosecutors to get confessions from inmates after they had already hired lawyers. Sanders and his staff investigated the jail's extensive information network while representing Dekraai and his second high-profile defendant, Daniel Wozniak, a community theater actor who killed 2 acquaintances, beheading one of them in 2010. Sanders' aha moment came when he noticed that the district attorney was using the same snitch, known only as Inmate F, to provide information against both of his clients. Inmate F is gang member Fernando Perez, once a rising figure in the Mexican Mafia. The 32-year-old Perez has spent most of his life behind bars for crimes involving drugs, guns, and gangs. Facing life in prison for his most recent conviction, Perez began to gather information about his fellow inmates in hopes of getting on the good side of the district attorney's office. In October of 2011, Dekraai was moved to the cell adjacent to Inmate F, Fernando Perez. Jail deputies then wired Dekrai's cell and secretly recorded more than 100 hours of conversations between the 2 men.
what happened was Perez got a hold of the sheriff's department and said, this guy's talking. Sheriff's department got a hold of the DA's office. They met, and they met with Perez and decided, let's put a bug in his cell and let's get him to keep talking. Let's see what it says. They thought it couldn't hurt to listen. Well, they found out that it did hurt in a big way.
In August of 2014, Superior Court Judge Thomas Goethals ruled that the District Attorney's Office may have made mistakes in the case, but he also found no systematic wrongdoing.
Once the scandal started to break,
That guy's a badass judge. I had him
Judge
too.
Goethals held, yes, this is a problem. We want to know more about the situation. We're going to hold the government accountable. The government started cutting deals.
Yep.
8 months later, Goethals would change his mind.
People were cutting deals left
In
and
March
right.
of 2015,
That's how OG Black
Goethals
got a
issued a
sweet
stunning
deal on
ruling
his fucking
saying
dope sale
prosecutors
case.
had committed a comedy of errors and violated Dekrai's rights.
You saw the Orange County District Attorney's Office starting to cut deals with very serious criminals, people who had committed or were charged with murder. They were getting out early. Their sentences were being cut drastically.
Yeah.
In effect, the government was using
I
the
got a good deal,
extraordinarily
man, because they
powerful
violated
tool
my
that it
civil
has
rights,
in
you know what I
plea
mean?
bargaining
And people know
to
about
shut
that.
down the
A
valves
lot
of
of the homies
information in the criminal
and
system
they've been
that
in the
would
prison
permit
system, know
us
what
to
time it
have
is with
learned
me.
more.
How I
We
got
can't
fucked.
underestimate the power that the
That's the
government
homie
has
right
to
there,
ensure that
Downer
we
from
never
Delhi.
learn the details of these cases where the government has engaged in misconduct.
Hell yeah. Downer got a
Goethals
good
took
deal.
the case away from Rackakis in the District Attorney's Office, assigning the penalty phase to the State Attorney General's office. The Attorney General has appealed, and that means at least another year of delays for the death penalty phase of Dekrai's trial.
The process of actually becoming a snitch is surprisingly formalized. I sort of had this naive notion that snitches were just people who were there in the jails and they happen to hear something or someone happens to confess to them. It's not like that. They say, hey, I can get this information, somebody's talking.
Yeah, that's what Fernando from
They
18
go
Street
to
did,
the
that
jailers,
fat fuck.
and then there's a process they go through
Fucking piece
of
of
being
shit.
basically interviewed.
Almost got me life.
I think that the best way to understand
That's why OG Black is
informant
famous.
use is to think of it as an enormous marketplace. In effect, we have announced to the criminal justice system, if you can come up with information, we'll trade you your freedom. And that deal is almost always on the table.
Judge Goethals learned of a confidential log that shows the movement of jailhouse informants from cell to cell. The Orange County Sheriff's Department refers to
Expedite
these
to
secret
Model.
computerized records as treads. In the Dekraai case, Goethals found that 2 sheriff's deputies either lied or willfully
Garcia
withheld
and
material
Grover.
information from the courts
Brutal
about
ass
treads.
fools.
The judge also found that Orange County DA Tony Rackakis bears ultimate responsibility for the missteps.
And the use of criminal informants is one of the messiest aspects of criminal justice. Basically, we're using bad guys to get bad guys.
That's right.
There's a real mystery about how
Dirtbags.
expensive this is because the very nature of this jailhouse informant work is that it's secretive.
A wide range of experts and leaders in the criminal justice field have stood up and said, this is not just Orange County's problem.
Hell no.
This
LA
deserves
County.
Greater scrutiny.
You know,
and we
LA
can't
County were the
rely
first
just on
ones to
Orange
start
County
doing it,
to
and then
do
they started doing it in Orange
And so
County.
Dean
Then
Erwin
they started doing it in San
Chemerinsky
Diego
of
County.
UC Irvine Law School, former Attorney General of California, John Vandekamp,
Yep.
and several dozen other legal and criminal justice experts, including me, but many others, have submitted a letter to the United States Department of Justice, to Attorney General Lynch, asking for a federal investigation.
Well, you have to be concerned that maybe some very guilty people are going free or getting
Yep.
benefits because
was
of the
guilty as
mistakes
fuck.
that have been made.
But since they violated my
The
civil
defense
rights
needs
and
to
they
know,
violated us
frankly,
stuff,
what
I was
is
able
there.
to cut a
If
deal.
you're using tainted
I was looking at
witnesses, they
22
need to
years
know
and
that.
ended up getting 8 with half. I got the
In
paperwork
short,
to
it
show
should
it
be an
too.
even playing field.
Didn't tell on anybody, didn't rat on
Orange
anybody.
County has opened
Got stuck in that
a
special
rare
handling
window
unit.
into this
That's one of the
process,
worst things
and
in
it's
the
a
world,
window
man. I
through
wouldn't
which we
wish it
should
upon
all be
anybody.
looking very, very carefully.
I wouldn't wish it upon
Because we
Shadow.
know
I
that
wouldn't
this is going
wish it
on in
upon
jails around the
Cosquillo.
country.
That's Orange County Jail,
We've
guys, for you
seen
guys.
time and time
Look at
again,
that.
this precise kind
Day
of
room,
debacle occur, whether
cells.
it's in Los Angeles or Detroit.
That's the phone. That's our
or
jumpsuit.
in other jurisdictions around
That's
the
real
country.
shit right there.
Indeed, around the world, in Canada and the United Kingdom, have also struggled with the use of jailhouse informants.
Yeah.
Orange County is giving us so much information about how this public policy can run
Sad
amok.
day.
We should take it very
Sad day for
seriously.
people, guys. All right, guys. Smash, like, subscribe. Remember, it's called the Snitch Scandal. Hope you guys like it. It's your boy, OG Black. Don't forget, guys. Don't ever forget, man. This is real stuff, man. Thank you guys for subscribing and watching my life, man. It's real deal. If you got any questions about this, let me know. It's your boy, OG Black. And